News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
Well, just in time for the holidays, Mariah Carey just broke 3 Guinness World Records with her iconic Christmas song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, according to Fox News. The 1994 hit tune broke the record for the highest charting holiday song on Billboard U.S. Hot 100
by 94 song?
94.
That song got a real second life with Love Actually.
That's right, by a solo artist. The most streamed track on Spotify in 24 hours by a female, and the most weeks in the UK singles top 10 chart for a Christmas song.
It's overplayed and it's still great.
Everybody loves it.
It's everywhere all the time and it's still great.
It's my very Jewish father's favorite song. On Saturday, Carey was presented with copies of her world records during her show at the Coliseum at Caesars in Vegas.
I can't figure out what I want for her.
Is you?
Better hurry. It's only so many shopping days left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I want her to be successful or happy. Like, I like Celine Dion.
Yeah.
She seems nice.
You want her to be successful.
I root for her.
Right.
I don't know. Who are we rooting for? We're not rooting for her. Are we rooting
for
her?
If you talk to Nick Cannon, you're probably not rooting for her.
Oh, really?
I don't think he's a fan.
I'm not rooting for Nick Cannon either. He's wearing turbans everywhere. Yeah. He's got all woke, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for him.
Yeah, I just remember, I think it was on Stern when they announced that she was getting remarried and Nick Cannon doubled over laughing.
Is it better? She kind of comes from nothing, right?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't come from a famous family or anything.
Yeah, but
middle class.
She's pretty Jenny on the block, right?
Yeah.
I think
she's from Jersey. No, I don't think she's. We can look it up.
I don't know. We'll figure out where she comes from. But what I'm saying is I think if you're like a Kennedy, you're different. You grew up around it. You don't feel like once you get rich, you have to boss everyone around or act. You're doing Cruella de Vil. Like you're doing an impersonation of a rich person.
You're acting at like what you think a rich person should act like.
Right. I think you find that the kids of the wealthy families are much more low-key. They get strung out on drugs and OD or whatever, but they're not like
they don't assume the role.
I had a Rory Kennedy rent my house, and they end up getting into like activism and environmental stuff, and they make documentaries, and it's like they've become they're rich. We already know that. Like, they're set for life, so they don't need to go out and prove it all the time with the way they dress or the way they act or the way they treat underlings or anything.
Right.
And I feel like when people are the nouveau riche, they go, oh, what would a rich person do? Like, I've been watching Disney movies.
I'm going to bring this up for the first time since the time I brought it up years ago. But when I was taking that improv class many years ago, there was an exercise, right, where the teacher, the instructor wrote down numbers 1 through 5 a few times and distributed them to all the people in the class. And he's like, all right, if you're a 5, this relates to your social stature. Like if you're 5, you're like a CEO. You're rich, you're powerful. If you're a 1, you're like an underling and everywhere in between. No one knows what number they have. Just start acting as if. And all the people with the 5s were just acting like assholes. Or they were just like, hey, get me this, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but they're all college students, right? Like, they were acting what they think rich people act like, and I got a 4, and I was just acting aloof, because most rich people, like, have no time for, or at the very least, they're kind of, like, polite and whatever, but, like...
Let's wrap this
up. That's what I'm saying. I was doing my best Corolla.
They drive the beat-up old Saab.
I was doing my best Corolla circa 98.
Yeah, they can drive a beat-up old Saab, and they can do it ironically. Yeah. Like they can wear flip-flops and cargo shorts everywhere.
With the rag top that's sort of falling apart
Tattered.
on that 900 turbo.
But all the 5s were just overdoing it.
Yes.
Get me this, and get out my way.
And in radio, I don't know if you've heard specific Mariah Carey stories, but I have. A lot of averting your gaze in the hallway stories.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, you love those gays. Anyway, I don't know all the positions, but that's a new one. I'll have to look up that one later. What color's the bandana on that? The avert one? She grew up in a small suburb in New York, suburbs of New York. She then moved around a lot after her parents got divorced at age 3. After high school, she lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in Manhattan with 4 other students. I guess she was a poor person. She worked as a waitress. She's not a Kennedy. So she got super rich and started acting like
she married Tommy Mottola.
A caricature of rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She has the voice, but yeah, I've heard things. Lori Loughlin's lawyer is putting her through the ringer ahead of her big court appearance next year. The former Full House and Fuller House star is currently preparing for a major court showdown this holiday season. She is vigorously preparing. So a source told Us Magazine that, quote, Lori has been meeting with her lawyers for days at a time. It's her full-time job. She's very involved with this defense. When she's not at the lawyer's office, she's emailing them, she's texting them. And the source also revealed that Loughlin has reportedly been conducting mock trials ahead of the appearance, saying her lawyers play the prosecutor and they grill her, and it's grueling.
Well, she's got those acting chops
to
fall back on.
That's right.
And also, this is Dr. Phil's business. Dr. Phil prepped Oprah, and they do mock trials. They do dry runs. They prep you.
And they're hardcore.
Oh, my God. I've done this. I've had Gargas and a couple of his guys, grill me before I went to court.
Never stop crying.
It's insane. And that's what they do. They start talking about what you're going to wear, what you should do. Don't answer this. You'll never give the right answer to anything.
Well, that's the thing. Do you remember? I mean, would you remember when the heat's on and you're in the box?
I don't know that they want you. They're not trying to get you to repeat what they said. They want you to have that posture or whatever that is. You're supposed to be like a bullfighter, not like a bullseye.
Oh, that's good.
Won't the judge see right through that?
Hold on. We gotta inhale a little more. Okay, sorry, guys.
Because this judge is pretty difficult, right? I mean,
but is there a jury?
Oh,
it's a jury trial? I don't know.
That's right. It's not.
I don't know. Garagos will say to his opposition, did you guys prepare? Did you guys rehearse? Did you guys have a bunch of stuff? And of course, the jury's listening, going, why are they having all these? What's with all the dry runs?
Right.
What do you got to hide? Seems like you're trying to get your story straight, right? Because he will ask immediately about, did you coach this person up? Why did you meet for so long if you didn't talk about anything?
So good.
I know, it's horrible.
Now, I might not know the Jumbo musical as well as I should, but if you've ever seen Chicago, which is an incredible movie. I mean, Brian,
okay.
Oh, how dare you?
It's okay.
No, it's an incredible movie, and not only is it
it's a good movie.
Shut up. Mm-hmm. It's a fun, sort of fly by the seat of your pants, all these great musical numbers, Cadillac Tango. Movie. What is wrong with you? My whole point is that it does take you through the entire court process in musical form, and it's an incredible musical. I don't know why you would say that, Brian. It's top 5 greatest musicals of all time. A 74-year-old hiker who you'll probably remember when I show you this unfortunate footage, who was caught on that crazy video spinning out of control.
Oh, yeah.
While being airlifted by a helicopter in Arizona on a stretcher, has filed notice of a claim against the city, speaking of lawsuits, for $2 million. Catalan Metro, and it just gets faster and faster.
Oh,
well, they're being airlifted out.
Yes, was hiking off of a peak
they're
near
on a
Phoenix.
Gurney, and I think they're supposed to have a chase string that kind of guides
them.
Yeah. There's one that holds them and then one that whatever's them. But sorry, go ahead.
74 years old. So hiking in June, when she apparently tripped on the trail, became disoriented, and needed help getting back down.
She's frothing milk.
Right in this vortex.
Literally spinning out of control for 1 whole minute. Firefighters wrapped Metro like a mummy and strapped her into so-called Stokes basket, which the helicopter lifted gently, but then it just started to spin and faster and faster. She looks like a human chopper blade. It was a minute long, and she's suing for $2 million because God knows how that scrambles your brain.
If The Rock was flying that copter like he was in San Andreas, that shit wouldn't have gone down this way, man.
How do you put a dollar amount on that? Oh, that's $2 million.
That's a Garrigus question.
10,000 for every spin.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like, hey, if you hadn't rolled an ankle, we wouldn't be in this position in the first place. We came down to save you.
Yeah, that's right. You're welcome.
But they must have a chase rope that prevents this.
Perhaps that was what you're suing over. Maybe they forgot to attach it.
The operator error. Mm-hmm. So the most Jewish thing I've said in a long time. Remember when I broke my foot because I fell down the stairs at Katz's ordering matzo ball soup?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman was really mean to me, and it was getting so swollen, like my ears were ringing.
The woman, which woman?
The hostess or the manager or whatever. And she's like, you have to be more careful. And I was like, can I please have some ice? And she was kind of browbeating me, and I couldn't even hear because it hurt so bad because I didn't know it was broken. And I finally said to her, I'm not going to sue you. I just need some ice. Please. Can you just please help me? Like, I'm not suing. I need some ice. I can't walk. So is that, I think that's why she was coming at me like that, not saying, oh God, we're sorry, or what can we do? So that's how we live now.
It's a cultural thing. You can't go into a deli and talk about suing people.
I know.
Gina.
Yeah, Gina.
You should know better.
You of all people.
The spinning is very rare, but it's a known phenomenon in the hoist rescue industry.
Okay. That's happened. That's the second time in 6 years that it's happened.
Seems like they need a chase rope on there. So
said they do have a line that's attached that's supposed to prevent it, but that they didn't.
Oh,
they didn't have. Oh, they
just
didn't
prevent it.
Oh, it just got twisted up too.
Freak thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then I wonder. Then they might dismiss it altogether.
My feeling is like I want to live in a shit happens world. Like there's just a world where you roll your ankle, they come get you. Once in a blue moon, there's this weird vortex, and you spin around. You're still alive. You got saved. Sorry, we don't have. Everything doesn't have to turn into something because there was no malice there. And I guess what you have to look for is you have to go, well, was there malice or negligence? And if there wasn't malice or negligence, if that's just a phenomenon that happens on rare occasion, then you don't get any money.
I might say the defense is, well, what would have happened if we didn't get you? So what? You
Leave
spun around a lot. You would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And you'll be ready for the next time you play spin the tail on the donkey or pin the tail on the...
Spin the bottle.
Spin the bottle or
you
spin the tail
bottle.
on the donkey, yeah. It's a lot of... I spent... you're out of entertainment as a kid when most of it is like, put the blindfold on and spin you around. Like, my kid would go, no, I'm playing Fortnite, douche. Like, the only form of entertainment was just no sight, and we're going to spin you around.
I was just telling this story to Teresa the other day. Where our whole entertainment when we'd visit my grandma in Chicago was, he called it alien. I don't know why. My brother would put a pillowcase over my head and spin me around and run me into random objects.
Yeah.
How about you leave the joking to Adam?
Wasn't a joke.
Being disoriented was a form of entertainment.
It was like you were high.
Yeah, we do that in the lawn. Like, you spin around the thing and then try to walk through the sprinkler,
Well, NASCAR may be hitting the streets, speaking of Fast and Furious. The racing series is considering adding temporary tracks in city centers and sports stadium parking lots to the season as soon as 2021. Don't know if you've heard about this. Along with its signature oval track, NASCAR currently competes on two road courses, Sonoma Raceway and Watkins Glen, and a so-called Roval set up in the infield of Charlotte Motor Speedway.
They used to do a lot of this stuff. I mean, like Indy does it. Long Beach Grand Prix was always just out in the streets. L.A. had a Grand Prix. They'd go through the downtown L.A.
It's like Cyclovia, but not for pussies.
If you watch Uppity, he was in La Jolla, I think he had was that La Jolla? See, there's great footage. Find Willie T. Ribbs driving it. Not San Diego or La Jolla. It's got like in-car camera, and there's no racetrack down there. It's just like streets, and they put up like temporary barriers, and he's driving a Dan Gurney car, but it's a Gurney-prepared Toyota. Where was it, Maxipad? I want to say La Jolla, but I can't think. It's up that area. But they used to do a lot of street stuff, and it was exciting. They did Detroit. Detroit did an F1 race, I think, in the streets. Monaco's F1 race is a street race.
That'd be exciting.
Circuit Del Mar.
Del Mar. Yeah, Del Mar. Yeah, if you show us 10 seconds of that, it's killer. Oh, that's the beginning of the race. He's not racing.
He's just getting those wheels sticky.
Yeah. You see, there's concrete barriers everywhere.
Tight turns.
Yeah, because he's just driving through the streets of Del Mar, I think. Willie's just driving the shit out of this Toyota Celica that Dan Gurney's All-American Racers built. And you see, if you're doing it right, you're right up against the concrete all the way around the track. I don't know why. Oh, he's pulling in. Oh, okay. His car was screwed up. Okay, we got it. Sorry.
So like you said, possible scenarios include teaming up with IndyCar at one of its street racing venues like Long Beach, where sports cars and the Stadium Super Truck Series also compete. So Formula One is currently in discussions also to hold a race in parking lots and access roads outside Hard Rock Stadium in Florida. And all the top metro areas in the United States have a facility that presents a similar opportunity for NASCAR. So,
boy.
Taking it to the streets.
Good. I like it. I wish it'd bring back the L.A. thing, although there'd be 7,000 homeless people killed if we did a race in this
project.
I mean, just be bodies everywhere, right? Like
a lot of carnage.
Couldn't do it anywhere. Carnage.
That'd be a good movie for it. Yeah, Carnage. Racing, not so much an Olympic situation. Why is that? Like Summer Olympics.
I don't know. They seem like they have everything. And they used to be very nationalistic stuff. You know, everyone had their colors.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it never. I guess it didn't need the Olympics because it had Le Mans, it had all these other Targa Florias and these big Panamera, Carrera, Mexico. They had all these big events, and everyone would bring their cars from all over the world and paint them in their international colors. You know, German would be silver and American be like white and blue, and Ferrari, Italy be red. They'd bring it all. So I guess they kind of had, Le Mans and Daytona and Sebring are their Olympics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
By the way, if they did do that, who would win, you think? What country?
Well, I think it would probably be like the Olympics in that if you want to do a sprint, let's say a drag race, a quarter mile, we would win. But if you do the marathon, then the Kenyan guy wins, right? So if you did a 24-hour Le Mans type race, then Audi would win. If you did the quarter mile, we would win. If you did a oval, we would win, or the Americans would win. If you did a road course, Porsche would win. Boy, that was a good answer.
Wow.
But they're all like racing, but what's sprinting, long distance, all the different variations of Olympic foot racing could be done
and
that way, too.
drifting would be the Japanese?
Sure.
Drifting would be the Japanese, yeah. Although I think Americans are pretty solid at that.
Well, speaking of drifting, a school bus driver in Illinois has been arrested and fired after surveillance video caught her drinking 2 beers while transporting dozens of elementary school kids.
It's a long day.
If there was ever a job where you could drink on the job, you got to deal with those kids and the spitwads.
You're right.
Light beers.
You're right, but wait, there's a great wrinkle in this story. 44-year-old Michelle Pasley had stopped at a gas station during her morning route on November 15th and appeared to purchase 2 cans of beer before getting back on the bus.
Oh, she's drinking out of a paper bag.
That's right. She slipped it into a paper bag.
Could
She
be
started
an energy
sipping.
drink.
Yeah, it's a Four Loko.
It's a Four Loko. A review of the footage showed that 32 students were on the bus while she was drinking, so she has been let go.
Well,
She knows what she needs. 2 beers is the limit.
yeah, school bus.
She's going to stop anytime she wants.
Yeah, it's weird that that's still a job, school bus. Like I lived across the street. I lived across the street from my elementary school, Colfax, and then Walter Reed, my junior high, I'd walk to, and then later on I lived basically across the street from North Hollywood High, and that was about the end of my education. So when I hear about guys getting picked up on the bus and the girl he sat next to and had a crush or whatever, bullies or whatever, like all those busing talks.
Did you ever take the city bus?
We used to, during the summer. Yes, on rare occasion, but during the summer, there was a way to get from North Hollywood to Santa Monica Pier and like go Ziffy boarding. It was a 5-hour odyssey,
There's someone's going down.
But you'd have to wait at the one on Chandler and then take that over to the Westwood and then get a transfer and then take that one down Wilshire. I mean, it was
a whole day.
It took 4 hours to get to, but of course our parents wouldn't never drive us to Santa Monica.
15 cents.
It didn't cost anything, and we'd be gone the whole day. But I think about those days, and you think about now about your you think about now, like, well, you got your water, you got your protein bar, you got your sunscreen, you got your all your cool little coolers with wheels and all your
blanket.
You got your earbuds and your smartphone and you got your whatever. We would leave with, swim trunks and a T-shirt on and a towel. And we would just leave. And we didn't have food, and we didn't have water, and we didn't have sunscreen.
You're going to the water.
And we didn't have money. We never had money. Like, I never had money. We'd just leave. And so the conceit was there is no lunch, there is no snacks, there's no bag of Doritos or anything. We're just leaving North Hollywood at 8:45 in the morning, and we'll be back at 5:30 in the evening. We'll be in the ocean the whole time, but there's a drinking fountain. If you can find a drinking fountain, like on rare occasion, there'd be an apricot tree or something like in front of someone's house. Oh, grab some apricots. Oh yeah, I used to do that stuff all the time, but I didn't have. It's not like we had $1. It's not like at some point we're going to Carl's Jr. We just left, nothing on our person except for enough fare to get the bus tokens, and that was it. Just the whole fucking day. Of course, I hate my parents. Sorry.
And there was no sunscreen either. It was baby oil. Baby oil.
Oh yeah, you want that tan?
We even have that.
The copper tone.
Sizzle.
Just imagine, like, probably just barefoot walking out of the house with nothing. There's no. I didn't have $4. We figured out how much money it would cost to get there and back, and that was that.
But it's okay because waiting for you at home was a huge spread for dinner.
Yeah, unsalted lentil stew with a fucking bay leaf floating in it. But who can? But let's not live in the past.
Well, a Durham, New Hampshire celebration scheduled for the beginning of the holidays is undergoing some changes this year in an effort to remove religious overtones. Formerly called the annual tree lighting ceremony, the newly named Frost Fest will include the absence of a formal tree lighting. Santa will be at the event, but he will not arrive in a town fire truck as he always does every year. The wreaths that traditionally adorn the lamppost will not be there.
That'll solve everything.
Yep. Town Councilor Sally Tobias says the changes came about after some controversy last holiday season. She said a small group of people in the community felt excluded since they don't celebrate Christmas. However,
I never want to stop throwing up. First off, the fucking temerity. Like, if I went and moved to some part of Mexico and they were having their annual donkey celebration, I wouldn't be like, whoa, hold on. I don't feel like, where's my donkey? I don't feel part of this. Fuck you if you don't feel fucking part of it. And then fucking stay home and do whatever the fuck you do at your home with your fucking Santeria or your dreidels or whatever the fuck you're doing. Just stay the fuck home and do it. So tired. Like, I'm feeling, by the way, you're not feeling threatened by other people celebrating. I fucking hate soccer. When soccer comes on the TV set, I don't feel threatened. I feel like this is something that's not a part of my culture. I'm not interested in it.
So you move on.
I'm not excluded. I'm not interested in it. Fuck off, everybody, with this shit. It's gone way too fucking far. This group, like, a group of people felt threatened. Good. Go home and put your fucking thumb up your ass and get in a fucking fetal position. I don't give a shit.
Well, you know who agrees with you?
Ugh.
Fucking Jews.
The rabbi.
Did you actually find the donkey show?
No, there is no donkey.
Oh, okay.
It's a believe me.
Shangri-La.
How many cab fares did you spend looking for that?
We didn't have money for cab, but we walked. And we didn't just walk Revolution. We walked the side. We walked side streets. We went house to house. Nothing.
Casa.
That's right. That believe you me.
So Rabbi Beryl Slavatsky of the University of New Hampshire and the
really think about a donkey show. You know what I mean? It's not that feasible. You know what I mean? Like to do on a night. You know, hey, we got a 5 o'clock. We got matinee for the kids. We got we do a 7:30 and then we do an 8. And we do a midnight show on Friday and Saturday. Like, how are you going to get that donkey to perform? How are you going to get the ladies back in shape? You know,
the donkey's not feeling it.
He's not feeling amorous.
Not feeling it tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
7 off night. Now, what do? Shut the lights?
Do you have an understudy donkey?
Show must go on.
Donkey fluffer.
The point is, it's the donkey show. If you really kind of think about the donkey show, it's kind of like from my childhood. It's like this old lady was handing out candied apples on Halloween with razor blades. And I was like, how long would that last?
Yeah.
Don't you think we could trace the candy apple back to the razor blade lady
this
pretty
went on
quick?
for generations.
Yeah. She just, every year, she'd embed razor blades and candy and then hand them out.
I think you're not going to remember the one house is giving out candied apples?
It's kind of traceable. Yeah. Even if every house, even if you didn't know, you'd still know the 11 houses you went to. The authorities could work this out pretty quickly if you're putting razor blades. And by the way, in your community, it's not like, well, we went to the south side of Chicago and we went up to one of the houses. You're walking around Sherman Oaks.
You mostly know your neighbors.
This thing didn't exist.
No.
And I don't think the donkey show existed either.
That's what we tell everyone, to stay away.
Yes.
So the rabbi said, to stop cultures and faiths from practicing publicly is very un-American. He said he wanted the town to display a menorah during the 8 days of Hanukkah, but that request was denied.
Jeez.
I think they're a little confused over there.
Well, look, here's the worst we can do. Donkey show not real.
Oh, come on.
Max Pattis says no evidence.
After a porn star, Linda Lovelace, claimed her then husband was going to force her to get fucked by a donkey in Mexico in her 1980 memoir, Ordeal, that's when it quickly seeped into mainstream American culture, then in Tom Cruise's film Losing It.
Well, she's been through a lot, Linda Lovelace.
Yeah.
I was told we were going to talk about China.
We did that already. We moved on to Mexico.
Hey, read that chapter to Lynette next time she gets angry that Phil ate one of my tube socks because I left it out of the hamper. I'm saying it could be worse.
Yeah, there's a scale.
Could have a gun to your head off stage.
There's a scale.
Yeah.
So the donkey show is just a myth. And look, here's the slippery slope. All right, the slippery slope is when we start self-policing, then preemptively whatevering. Like we go, well, we weren't able to show Santa with the fire. You want to do the menorah?
Yeah, I'd love to.
No, we said no to the Santa. I don't know if it's good or bad, but just no. Just no.
But it's the Festival of Lights.
You become like an attorney for a network where you go, is this offensive? Just no.
Yeah.
Just no. Just don't say it. Don't do it. Just say something else. Do something else. We can't do anything because even if no one's going to protest what you're doing, we did the other people protesting against the other thing, and we stopped them, so we have to be consistent, so no one can do it. No one does anything anymore. That's where we're at. We'll just govern ourselves like idiots. Because one group of molestation survivors was essentially what they are. They're just victims. They were victims when they were kids. They're either rich and have nothing to do, or they were molested by their stepdad. These people think it'd be a good idea to destroy everyone's life. And we listen to them. Who's listening to these people? That's
the private, the local governments.
Oh.
And
well, I call the local government. I go, hey, someone's left a goddamn dishwasher on the sidewalk. It's been 4 months. Can you pick it up? They go, not really.
We're too busy removing Santa.
Yeah, they don't listen to me. Why do they listen to these people?
Maybe if you put a menorah on it.
I put a menorah on the dishwasher that was on the sidewalk for half a year.
Cross on it.
Yeah. A Santa
Jesus
hat.
hanging from it.
Yeah.
They will take it away.
Take it down.
Yeah.
All right, let me just hit Castrol Edge. Stronger under pressure. Castrol Edge with fluid titanium transforms to be 3 times.
3 times, fool.
Stronger than leading full synthetic. It is the edge. It is the best. It is Castrol Edge. It's formulated in ways to exceed the toughest industry standards. It's the best. It's Castrol Edge. All right, let's wrap it up.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
When I see something I like, I take it.
Gina. That was the news with Gina Grad.